Alright folks, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is MFozzii and we're continuing the FIFA 22 custom tactics videos for you guys today. First time ever, we're going to do 2 tactics in one video for you guys, so I will try and run through it a bit faster, not over explain like I do sometimes. The team has changed a little bit since what I ran this past weekend. We went 12-7 and give away the last win, which you guys should do once you hit the ranks you can and you only need the losses left. Just give away the free wins to people. It's really handy. And so yeah, we finished rank 2. I got my first team of the week pack and all that. Good fun. I used 2 tactics. We used a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3, but the 4th variant, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail and everything. So I'm going to try and I'll show you guys these tactics and then I'll explain how they worked and then what we're working on to get you guys next week. So as you can see, we've got a nice little team there. That informed Jonathan David is absolutely cracked. I would highly recommend. We're on to the ultra attacking 4-3-3-4, which I was using as like the main formation going into most games. Because I feel like, yes, I do as well. I put these videos out and I'm like, okay, this is the best, say, 4-2-2 tactics to run, which was last week's video. If you want those, the link will be down below. And it is, like, for me and for many others, the best 4-2-2, but that doesn't mean that you use that 4-2-2 for every second of every single game you play. Sometimes you need to adapt it a bit for a bit more defensively, a bit more like, okay, throw everything at it, but it's like, it's the base formation. So the base formation for this was the 4-3-3, 4th variant. We had a balanced defense, 60 width with a depth of 55. I have been pushing my width to 69. It seems to have a sweet spot. That's for the narrow and for wide formations. I feel like it just gets enough gaps for the players to run through. I'm doing long ball and direct passing. I feel you can run full balance on this if that suits your playstyle, but I do feel like chance creation on direct passing just works the best, especially on narrow formations. But I found when you're playing even wide formations, it helps to bring people into play a bit more. And then I personally like long ball, and I do think it's one of the best options, especially this year. There's a lot of the fullbacks in general seem to sort of come in a little bit. So if you can get a good long ball direct pass down the wing to a winger and you're through, it can be great. So that's how we lined up. I will say this team I have now is probably better for it than last time. I had Kessié playing instead of Renato Sanchez, and this is the variant that has centre mids and not defensive midfielders, so you need a good ball player. I felt like Kessié was just a bit too heavy. His passing wasn't good enough. He was okay for most games, but when you're at the higher level, I felt that he slacked a bit in the centre mid side of things. So that's how we line up. Keeper and backline are all default settings. I haven't changed them a bit. I leave them fully as is. If you can do is put one fullback to get forward and then put the other one to stay back, but I found that there was a really nice balance because there's no defensive midfielders, just to have them on balance and let them push up the midfield as they would. The left midfielder, who in this case was Kessié for me, was stay back, cover centre. This is your traditional thing. Like, I've been in the scene for over 2 years now. This is what you've always used on like your defensive midfielder: is stay back, cover the centre, let them basically slot between those two centre backs or in front of them, and man the line. Our right centre mid was on just free roam, and I have absolutely loved this tactic, and I would highly advise that you guys use it. Last year for cams, I found free roam was unbelievable. It found gaps and everything. If you run a 3-man midfielder, even a 4-2-3-1, which you'll see, if you put like one of your like centre mids or defensive midfielders, if you've got 2 of them on a free roam, they get in so many good positions for you, and if you use it on an all-out attack, it leaves you available to counter attacks. But if you do it where it's you're not throwing the kitchen sink at it, and it's a good balanced formation, and then you have someone like Barella, who I think is brilliant for it, I would buy him, especially as inform if you can. He's a fantastic free roam player because he defends, he gets back, he gets forward. I found him popping up in little pockets of space and scoring goals, which was fantastic. The cam is just on getting to the box, nothing special there. We had tried it with stay forward, but you need your cams to drop back into the game a bit. Last year you could get away with 1 cam on stay forward with the wingers dropping back. This year the cam is vital for build up play. I think the wingers did have a bit of variance. So on the right side we had just get in behind, and then on the left side we had cut inside and get in behind. You can flip this around, but I would highly recommend doing it. So I had initially this week I played with Lorenzo Insigne in the left side. He's obviously a right-footed left wing, good finesse shots, and ideally you're going to cut inside and finesse with him. So I kind of enforced that by putting the chance creation on cut inside. Even for Bamba, it's still working well. So I would recommend, it depends how you want to play. I quite like Chiesa as that bolting down the wing, and then I have the ability to cut in with him myself. It just suits what your playstyle is, but I would highly recommend having them, instead of just having them both on getting behind or both in cut inside, offer that a little bit of variance, because what you'll find is, unless you're playing a pro, this will catch a lot of people out. So most people do the exact same on either side, and it gets very predictable. I'm like, okay, I know he's just going to bolt down the wing, I can cover that. But if you have one winger occasionally cutting in, the other one doesn't, and you mix up the play from side to side, oh man, you can get some good results. And then finally, the striker will stay forward and stay central. And what I would do is, if I felt I needed it, I would pause in game and change him to get in behind. And that was again reacting to the other team. But I found both Immobile and for Jonathan David, it is perfectly fine with the stay central and stay forward. It's just if someone's playing a certain way and you need to get in behind, then you can. But with that being said, let's jump to the 4-2-3-1. So I'm saying balanced. I've kept this one at 55-55 across the board for width and depth, and again it's balanced with long ball and direct passing. There's a bit of a theme here. I would use this more so as not a defensive thing, but a formation to offer me a bit more cover. Like if I found that there seems to be a high press. Basically, people with God squads will do like this high press sort of thing, where they're doing like a 4-2-4 and weird stuff like that. And then with fullbacks pushing up, I think they do the step up as well. And if it's a good team and they have the ability to do that, it's very hard to sort of like defend against. But I found if I switched into the 4-2-3-1 as opposed to the 4-3-3, and then give me that little bit more stability with the two defensive midfielders, and I wanted the team to be a bit more compact, which is why I dropped the width by 5. So that was that really. As you can see, that's how they line up. It was Barella on the right side with Kessie on the left side on the defensive midfielder slots for me, and also Insigne instead of Bamba. But yeah, again, the back line is pretty much, it's all default. I found this year that leaving the back line as it is perfectly fine. The only time I would change it is if you're someone who likes both defenders on, say, stay back, or sorry, both defensive midfielders on stay back. That's when then you sort of change your fullbacks to be step up and get forward, and at least have one of them. Or if you're playing a 5 at the back formation, in which case you have free reign, and they will come soon. I want to test that quite a lot in the coming weeks. But fully balanced, again, stay back, cover centre on the left defensive midfielder, and then a free roam and a get forward on the right defensive midfielder, which may surprise some people. But essentially, I've just seen with the last formation, which was kind of similar to this, the right cam and left cam were a bit wider out, but it's very similar. Essentially, I want this defensive midfielder to get involved a lot more in the play. It was Barella, even better with Renato Sanchez, 4-star and everything. You'll find a lot of opportunities stem from this. It's just runs that I think you wouldn't make the assumption to track as like the other player. The other player is going to be sat there and he's going to be looking like, why the hell is this man making this run? And sometimes you're just surprised they get into position. So if you do it and you feel like, okay, I do want to play a bit more defensive, take the get forward off. But I think the combination of the get forward and the free roam for him, or for that position, is great. If you look at the cam, fully balanced, nothing to change there. Just use this man as link up. Mkhitaryan was fantastic for it. I would highly recommend him if you can link him into your teams, even on 8 chemistry. 4-star, 5-star, got the finesse shot. He has everything you need really this game. Put a Hawk on him or a Hunter if you're that pace dependent, but Hawk helps the long shots. I think he's definitely worth putting in the game, in your team. The left attacking mid and the right attacking mid were both on get into the box or cross, but as you can see, I put Chiesa on drift wide, and this was because I had Insigne on the left side. Chiesa's a bit more pacey. And again, it kind of ties into what I was saying with the 4-3-3. I want different variants on each side. I don't want to be predictable. If they know that with both wingers I'm just going to run to the line or I'm going to cut inside every time, yes, I can manually change that, but I feel like having it ingrained into like a custom tactic also helps with it. So Chiesa on drift wide really just helped me with some chance creation, because I found a lot of the times what would be the left back would sort of be even bit more narrow, and I just get lots of space with Chiesa to run in and whip across into what was Immobile at the time. And then finally, the striker is stay central, stay forward, and get in behind. So very similar to before, but with getting behind on. And this is purely because it's like, with a 4-3-3, they're leading the line by themselves, but the wingers are a bit more pushed forward and available to get into play and make runs. If I maybe pass the ball down, Mkhitaryan gets it, there's a lot of opportunities for like the striker to make a run through. So that's the combination of those two formations. I've used a mixed match off them, and also the 4-2-2. That's how I qualified for champs. I went 6 and 2. I used those two formations, and I said I went 12 and 7, finished rank 2. Obviously, I need to improve my team, touch up a little bit, because last year, if anyone watched the channel, I was a gold 1 merchant. I bottled elite so many times, but I've got the fundamentals of the game. I've got that knowledge from playing competitively before. I know what works. So yeah, we're also going to be looking at a other variant of the 4-3-3 next week. Basically, we're going to be looking at trying to find a. What we've explained here was obviously 2 good formations that could be used, and I would use them in conjunction with one another. Maybe throw in like an ultra press if you ever need it. But I'm trying to find one formation that gives me the best of everything possible that I can then use also defensively by changing the tactics and having a slot, and then also offensively, just to get that sort of repetitiveness, because that's how you are good in these sort of games. It's all repetitive, getting the mechanics down. But I'm loving my team. I'm a Roma fan, and I also support Lille when they're playing in Ligue 1. So this team has so many things I love about it. I'm a bit Serie A biased, and I look forward to using this team this upcoming week, and I'm hoping that either Berardi or Barella get in for win against Belgium. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a big thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. I know I rambled a bit at the end, but we've got 2 full custom tactics in like an 11-minute video. Normally you get 1 in that time. So yeah, let me know how you get on with them, if you pair one with the other, how they work for you together, or if you pair with other formations, and let me know in the comments down below if you want to see any other tactics next Monday. If there's anything in particular you guys want to see, I can tailor the content around that. So leave a like rating, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Have a